guys, welcome back and welcome to Meaningful Manis for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So my goal was to get a good bit of breast cancer stories to share with you guys during this video. So I'm going to hop right into it. So the first one comes from Julie and she writes, "Hi, I wanted to give you my breast cancer awareness story. It is my story that started 8 years ago. I was planning a trip to Alaska for my 50th birthday in September. Prior to that, in January, I had my annual mammogram and they spotted something. I never had a lump. It just looked like something through kosher salt on the film. I had a biopsy and it turned out to be ductal carcinoma in situ. I hope I said that right. Stage 0, non-invasive. All good news as it was caught super early. I had to have a lumpectomy and 33 rounds of radiation. All was good and finished so I could go on my trip. Jump ahead 5 years on the anniversary of the first time, and I'm getting my annual mammogram again, and again spots were found on the same breast again. Well, once you had radiation, you can't have it in the same breast again, so I had to have a mastectomy. The diagnosis was exactly the same as the first. I chose to have a double mastectomy as I was not about to go through this again for a third time. Would you know, this time I was planning a trip to Africa for 3 weeks, and again, all was completed 5 months before I was to leave. The most important thing I want people to take away from this is mammograms saved my life. As I mentioned, there were no lumps, and both times this was caught very early as I was very diligent in my doctor's appointments every year. Since I had the mastectomy, no more. What I love calling panini presses, that's adorable. With the breast reconstruction, there is no breast tissue left. I can't stress enough how important it is to get your mammograms. Thank you for letting me share my story." Thank you so much, Julie, for sharing that story with us. I know talking about it, I'm sure, probably isn't always so easy to do, but I really do appreciate you sharing that with all of us. So the next one comes from Lucy, and she said, "My cousin on my mother's side is a 2-time survivor, first time at the age of 38, and then again at the age of 48. At the second finding, her youngest son was around 6 years old. She did have a lumpectomy and is now cancer-free. Thank goodness. Today she is 66 years young." So thank you, Lucy, for sharing that with us. I think it's incredible that she not only kicked cancer's ass once, but twice. So that's amazing. The next story is from Annie, and hers is a little sad, but she writes, "My beautiful mother survived breast cancer only to succumb to end-stage liver disease a few years later. But I will always remember her strength and courage and the incredible example she was to everyone who had the privilege of knowing her. I'm not that great at being on time for each season when it comes to doing my manis, but when I wear a pink mani, it is in honor of her. I thank you for always being so thoughtful and love, love, love your Meaningful Mani series." Thank you for sharing that, and I'm so sorry about your mom. That just breaks my heart. But thank you for watching my Meaningful Manis video. I'm so glad that you all enjoy this series. And our last story actually comes from Kim, but you guys probably know her as the owner of Gigi's Nail Co. If you're not familiar, she is the beautiful, wonderful lady who owns Gigi's, who made that super awesome Harry Potter dip collection for our Jules Mani Challenge this month. So this next one, you guys probably know her as the owner of Gigi's Nail Co., the beautiful lady who created all those Harry Potter dips for our current Mani Challenge. Her name is Kim, and she recently, like this week, announced and celebrated that she is now breast cancer free. So here is her story. And she writes, "Let me kind of explain in a short way if I can. Ha ha ha. In 2015, I had a lump that needed to be removed. My surgeon took it out, and when it came back from pathology, he thought I should have taken out more than that. He told me we would have to keep an eye on it, and every year we would have a mammogram and an ultrasound. So we did that every year, and in 2019, there was absolutely nothing. I was completely clean. I missed 2020, because of COVID, and didn't have one until April 2021, so I was 5 months late. I had found a large mass on my left breast, so I called my surgeon, and he put me in right away for an ultrasound and a mammogram. When they were doing the ultrasound, the radiologist made a point to say, "Oh, I am not going to have all those little ones biopsied because I'm sure it's the same as the two big ones." I will never forget those words. When they did the biopsy, they came back irregular with the cancer gene. We were just going to take those and talk about what to do after. A nurse friend said to me, I would just get rid of both boobs and not worry about it anymore. It got me thinking, and my husband and I said we thought it was a good idea. Before I could talk to my surgeon about it, he called me actually on a weekend and said that he thought I needed to start thinking about having a mastectomy with all the problems I've been having and how much he was having to take out. Then I wouldn't have to worry about doing this anymore. Ha ha. I was confirmation that was what was supposed to happen. Jump to the end after the mastectomy and everything came back from pathology. There were 7 spots of cancer, all in those little ones that they didn't test, and it spread to my lymph nodes. So if I wouldn't have had the mastectomy, I would still have that cancer in me and probably wouldn't go again for a checkup until next year. I can't imagine what that could have been like. I'm thankful that my surgeon got everything out, my margins were good, and that radiation and hormone therapy would be the end of this, and I am now cancer-free. And Kim, if you are watching this video, you're a badass, because for a good portion of what you were going through, I had no idea. I mean, this woman continued to work, put out dips regularly, all while going through all these treatments, and just, I can't even imagine the toll on you mentally and emotionally. It makes me emotional just talking about it and thinking about it. Like, to find out that, like, to hear those words, like, I can't even imagine. Cannot even imagine. So yeah, I thank all of you for sharing those stories. Kim actually did send me pictures of what she is going through and what her breast area looks like right now. I'm not going to share them, because that's private, that's personal. I guess I think she said it's from, like, the radiation, but imagine, like, the worst possible burns. Like, it just looks so incredibly painful. And then the cream, I believe she said that they give her to put on it to kind of give her a little bit of relief, she said is super sticky. So that probably makes it even more uncomfortable, because, you wear clothes and it sticks and it pulls. So I don't know how she is able to continue to do all that she does while going through all of that. But I am so incredibly touched that you guys shared these stories with me. It really does. They all made me cry. All of them, every single one. But thank you so much for sharing these with me. And I do want to point out that I know when we think of breast cancer, we always think pink and, fight like a girl. But always keep in mind, men can get breast cancer too. 1 in 100 men. It is, less common for a guy, but it does happen. So make sure, if you are married, have a boyfriend, whatever, and they are at that age where they should be getting tested, make sure they do that, because their health is important too. And I've heard so many other stories like Kim's, to where, everything was shut down during COVID, and a lot of people just, weren't able to go to their mammogram appointments. And, some of them got news like Kim did by the time they were finally able to actually go and get their mammograms done. So if you were due for yours, if you have been putting it off since COVID, make that appointment, go get it done. It is so, so important to get those done regularly, so that it can be treated if caught early enough. So for my mani, all the colors I used are available except for that lighter pink, that Diva Dip shade, but I will leave everything linked down below. I'm just doing really simple stamp. I wanted to do just a cute, sweet, simple mani design for this one, so I'm gonna hush. You guys have heard all my stories. If you guys have a breast cancer story, leave it down in the comments. You never know if your story can help somebody else that's going through it. So drop your stories down below. I'm gonna let you guys watch as I finish up my designs here. I'm gonna top coat off camera and I will be right back. All right, so I am back. I know that was a short little break, but sometimes these awareness videos, you guys, they get to me. I'm telling you. I get what Bailey Sarian says when she talks about how her murder mystery, but granted, I know they're different, how they get to her and she needs to like take a break from them every once in a while. Sometimes these videos, they just, you know, because I spend my whole duration of the video researching and talking about just that one thing. You know, it's not like a minute worth of talking about it. So it overwhelms my brain and my heart sometimes. But I hope you guys learned something from those stories. Remember, schedule your mammogram appointments. Take care of you always. So let me know what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching. And I will catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.